One day, Jim and Fred, two brothers, went to their grandfather's house for Thanksgiving. Both Jim and Fred were in the same history class. Their teacher told them that the topic they would be learning about when they returned to school would be imperialism. The teacher said the student who knew the most about imperialism would get extra credit. Jim and Fred weren't the smartest students, so they knew they needed extra credit. They didn't want to just research the topic. They knew their great-grandfather was in the army during the annexation of Hawaii, so they wanted to ask their grandfather all about the topic.
Hey, Grandpa.
Hey, kids.
Hey, Grandpa, great-grandpa Owen was in the army during the annexation of Hawaii, right?
He sure was.
Well, we were wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
I sure can.
So, when was Hawaii annexed? And, what year did it become a state?
Hawaii became part of the U.S. in 1898. It became a state officially in 1959. Can you pass the mash?
Sure.
Here you. Hey, Grandpa. Did your dad ever tell you why America wanted to annexate Hawaii?
Yes, he did, and there were many reasons.
Can you tell me a few?
America was looking to imperialize. Imperialism is a policy of extending a country's power and influence through diplomacy or military force. When the United States was looking to expand territory in the Pacific, there weren't many places left. At that time, Hawaii was ruled by the indigenous monarchs. It was a rock for picking because of the geographical location. 2, they wanted to be part of dock ships and expand trade. Pearl Harbor met that need, and there were many resources in Hawaii, one example being sugar. Hey, can I get some more mashed potatoes?
Here you go.
How did the U.S. accomplish this?
Well, there was 2 sides to the story, you see. There was a law put in place called the McKinley Tariff, named after the president at the time, and increased tax on imported goods into the U.S. Well, the white American planters in Hawaii believed that if Hawaii was annexed into the U.S., that problem would simply disappear. But during that same time, a new woman named Lila Kalani took control of the Hawaiian throne and believed the root of the problem was foreign interference.
What happened next?
Well, there was an uprising of white planters to overthrow the queen with the help of the U.S. Marines storming the island. Lila Kalani was forced to give in to their demands in 1893. Soon after, the provisional government or temporary government was formed by the white planters to govern the island.
But how was it annexed?
Well, it wasn't that easy. The current president before the annexation of Hawaii was Grover Cleveland, which was a strong disagreeer with the ideals of imperialism, and put off the annexation until 1897.
What happened that year?
A treaty was made to try to get the Hawaiians to sign away their territory, but a Hawaiian Patriotic League involved in the ratification of the document stopped it from being put in place.
But what was the real cause of the annexation?
A ship named the USS Maine on February 1898 was destroyed by the Spanish and signaled the start of the Spanish-American War. We needed our naval bases in Hawaii in order to defeat the Spanish. And so the current president at the time, Benjamin Harrison now, whom strongly urged the annexation of Hawaii, had finally gotten the territory.
What happened after Hawaii was annexed, Grandpa?
Well, President Grover Cleveland sent a few U.S. ministers to Hawaii to restore Queen Lila Kalani to the throne. But though the first president of the Republic of Hawaii and governor of the territory of Hawaii refused to step aside and instead proclaimed the independent Republic of Hawaii. Cleveland was unwilling to overthrow the government by force, and his successor, President William McKinley, negotiated a treaty with the Republic of Hawaii in 1897. In 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out, and the strategic use of naval bases in Pearl Harbor during the war convinced Congress to approve formal annexation. 2 years later, Hawaii was organized into a formal U.S. territory in 1959 and entered the U.S. as the 50th state. But to this day, Native Hawaiians remain bitter about how the U.S. acquired the islands. So in 1993, joint congressional resolution signed by President Bill Clinton apologized for the U.S.'s role in the interview.
Wow, you really know a lot. So what did the population look like afterward?
Sugar growers who dominated the island's economy imported thousands of immigrant laborers from China, then Japan, Portuguese from Madeira, and the Azeris, followed by the Puerto Ricans, Koreans, and most recently the Filipinos. As a result, Hawaii has one of the world's most multicultural populations.
Before we finish, can you tell us some interesting facts?
Sure, Hawaii's state nickname is the Aloha State because the word aloha is the most commonly used word in the Hawaiian language. Based on the context, aloha could mean hello, welcome, love, best wishes, or even goodbye.
Here, I have some on my phone. Did you know that Hawaii was the only state with tropical rainforests?
Bet you didn't know that Iolani Palace in Honolulu is the only royal palace ever to be in the United States. Electric lights illuminated Iolani Palace 4 years before the White House in Washington, D.C.
I found one on my phone too. Hawaii is the only U.S. state made up entirely of islands. It is composed of 132 islands, 8 main islands: Hawaii, Maui, Oahu, Kauai, Molokai, Lani, Nihaui, and Kalawai, and 104 islets, reefs, and shells. Hawaii is the southernmost state in the U.S.
Kalea on the Big Island of Hawaii is the southernmost point in the United States.
Wrap this one down. Hawaii is the only U.S. state that grows coffee, coca, pineapple, and vanilla beans.
Wow, there's so much to our history I never knew about. Jim and Fred's mom sent a text and gave a friendly reminder to let them know it was time to go home. The boys were finally done asking questions. They had a little more mashed potatoes, which was Jim's favorite, and then the kids began to leave. Just then, their grandfather decided to give them a few souvenirs for the journey home.
Oh, I just got a text from Mom. You gotta go now.
I'll give you some pictures from your great-grandfather's collection for you to keep. He was a vivid photographer at the time, and he took tons of pictures. He gave them to me when I was just a boy, and now I pass them to you. And you can tell the stories I have told today. Take good care of them.
We will.
The grandfather gave the boys a box of pictures, and they ended up presenting it the next day in class. The boys got all 10 extra credit points on their next test.
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a place. Somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.